I was standing on the outside corner of turn 1, lap 1 at the Nürburgring 24, screaming like a little German schoolgirl. Today on Shakedown, I'll tell you and show you why. Plus, a little F1, MotoGP, WRC. The Goodwood Festival of Speed is this weekend, where you always see cool cars. But I've got a couple for you today also. With the Nürburgring 24 and Goodwood in mind, today let's create the ideal annual schedule of events that every race fan needs to attend, like the Nürburgring 24, which is still a very German event. The 4 German brands were in full force. 500 of the 780 drivers were German. The mass number of Germans camping in the woods was pretty intense. Big guys, a lot of stern stares, way too much military green and camo, all sorts of knives, hammers, axes, weapons? I started to think we were only one mustache away from a Fourth Reich, until we turned the cameras on them. Then beer cans were lifted, drinks were offered, dancing took a foot, good times all around, and rioting. No generically sanitized, let's manipulate the action, modern era racetrack design here. What he's created are incredible images, cool cars executing very cool track action. My sleeper cool car from the Nürburgring 24 was this Audi TT RS. You know, even if the R18 LMP or even the R8 is Dr. Evil, this car is mini-me, but still heavy up on the evil. One is class, P14 overall. And speaking of evil, check out this WRC Fiesta test car in all black. Getting ready for Finland, end of July. Now they won't race it in black, but Ford should, just to put some fear into Citroën, whom they haven't beat since Rally 1. And speaking of black, Kimi Räikkönen is off his NASCAR bender, and will put his black rally car back in action at this, his home race, on July 28 through 30. Back to Nürburgring. Video games and in-car cameras do not convey the serious elevation changes and blind top-of-the-crest corners of the Nordschleife. Watching the cars work this track, it was no longer racing, it was art. GT car speeds fit the Nürburgring track. 230-mile-an-hour LMP cars would be too quick, too dangerous for passing. Street courses for fast race cars were exposed as the joke they are. Horses for courses is the old saying, and the Nürburgring 24 is just right with GTs. And I must also mention the danger factor that kept the racing honest. Overtaking was not a carnage fest. Pit lane was not 24 hours of car-person dodgeball. Why? Because everyone knew the danger, feared it, and acted accordingly. Danger is racing, and the truth is, it must remain part of racing. Besides, how will racers ever get laid if your partner isn't in awe of the act? In all, the Nürburgring 24 is a must-attend event. The FLD video will have much more to tell you on that story. The Goodwood Festival of Speed is this weekend. This year's theme, Racing Revolutions, quantum leaps that shaped motorsport. Shakedown will take a look at that also. But for now, stay tuned to the goodwood.co.uk website. Goodwood, like the Nürburgring 24, is another must-see event. So let me call on your help to create a calendar full of racing and car lover must-sees by month. I'll start us out, then you guys finish it up to get the best 1 or 2 events per month. Here goes. January. I got nothing. Maybe the Detroit Auto Show to check in with the OEMs? See, I need your help already. February, the Daytona 500. Suck it up, you gotta go once. March, Sebring, the Le Mans cars. April, the Long Beach GP party. You may have better suggestions from elsewhere around the world. Tell us. May, Indy and Monaco. June, Le Mans and Nürburgring. July, the Festival of Speed. August, September, and the rest? Well, let's finish this up for all you Shakedown fans. I know you're going to get into some MotoGP action and unique events like the Isle of Man TT, right? Speaking of which, did you see Subaru made a record run on that course? Subaru released an official video, so I guess we can show some of that. Or just check it out via the link below. You know, Subaru's on a roll. They won their class at the Nürburgring 24. And compared to Toyota's big spend, little speed, no results performance, again, a Toyota fail, Subaru is the Japanese brand that knows how to race and win. Which gets us to F1 Red Bull. Last week was the debut of the new rules to slow Vettel's RB7. And how'd that go? Well, next race McLaren wants to limit Seb to only 3 tires. In MotoGP, Marco Simoncelli appears to prefer racing on no tires, falling again, this time on lap 1, taking out Lorenzo, opening the door for American Ben Spies to get his duck-breaking MotoGP win. America, F yeah. Setting me up to show you one final cool car. Enough with the Pikes Peak Unlimiteds. Here's the hottest ride up the mountain, a big old American Cadillac. You know, it looks like something Mike Musto would build. Till next week. I think Glickenhaus was the only American team at the Nürburgring 24, but with an Italian car. One each Euro-entered Corvette and Viper were the only American cars. So the biggest production-based sports car race on the planet and the American car brands turn their back? I think that should change. And I have an idea.
Ow, we're living in the fast lane, baby.